So this week's episode of Hunter x Hunter, things got pretty real. But before I get into anything, I have to give a shout out to Pouf. Pouf, you are that main character that we all love to hate. We hate you because you're nothing but a thorn, an obstacle, a headache in the brain and the mind of the main character. You're nothing but a problem, but we love you because you make this story so worth watching. You really do. Pouf, you're a genius. This whole idea with the contest, the game between the king and the royal guards, basically to stall the king from looking for Komugi, well, finding Komugi. This whole idea was genius. So I have to give you an applause. I have to applaud you. You are a genius, Pouf. But things got pretty real in this episode of Hunter x Hunter. We realized, well, we already knew this, but Knuckle, Palm, Melorone, they all really got a chance to see that they are just way out of their league. When the king powered up and showed, you know, his balls, showed that aura, they don't want no parts of that. They don't want any parts of that. But we'll get into all of that in a second. Go ahead and play the intro. So this episode starts off with the king and the royal guards inside of the palace in the West Tower. The king is looking around the room. He's like, something's missing. Something doesn't feel right. He's looking around trying to regain his memory, trying to figure out, what am I missing? Something just doesn't feel right. Pouf is doing his absolute best to make sure that he doesn't remember Komugi. And I was kind of shocked that Youpi actually joined along in this whole game, this whole deception ordeal. I was shocked that Youpi actually joined in, but he did. I guess they both really don't want the king to go back to the way he was when he was playing a game with Komugi. So one of the royal guards mentions Pito's name, and the king is like, oh, I remember Pito. I told Pito to do something for me. I remember Pito. And Pouf is like, oh shit, he's starting to remember stuff. We gotta do something. So the king is like, I remember Pito. Youpi, go find Pito for me and bring him back here. So Pouf realizes that if Youpi brings back Pito could possibly tell the king about Komugi. Pouf is like, this is not gonna work. He tells the king, there's still enemies everywhere and we can't go out with you. We can't protect you. So the king powers up, basically like, look, do you feel this aura? Do you feel it? Do you feel how powerful I am? Do you really think that any enemy outside of this palace, not any enemy, anybody, do you think that anybody outside this palace is stronger than me? Meanwhile, on the outside of the palace, you have Knuckle, you have Palm, you have Calgo, and you have Melorone. All of them are feeling his aura and they're just like, no, oh hell no. We don't want no parts of that. Knuckle in particular was like, we need to get the hell out of here. We need to get out of here. We need the army, we need the navy, we need the air force, we need everybody because he's powerful. He is ridiculously powerful. We need help. But you know, and I was kind of shocked at Melorone's response because I kind of felt like he wanted to stay there and continue to fight. I feel like Knuckle was more logical, and I think the narrator actually says something about that. The narrator said Knuckle was powered by revenge and Melorone was powered by duty, I think. But I was kind of shocked that Melorone was actually, he wanted to stay and fight. Knuckle didn't want any parts of that. As soon as Knuckle felt the king's aura, he was like, get me the hell out of here. We need help. This is way beyond us. And he was right. He was right. None of them outside the palace, no one outside the palace is any match for the king. The king used his N, which is basically a nin technique, to detect all of the nin users outside the palace. He said that there were 4 people outside the palace, but one of them had a burden, like one of them, something was holding them back, basically. Something was holding them down. So as Knuckle and Melorone are retreating, the king teleports. I don't know if he teleported or I don't know if he used just his straight speed or he teleported. Either way, he was gone in like a second. I'm gonna say teleported basically because that's what it seemed like, even though he probably was just going extremely fast. But he teleported right beside Knuckle before Knuckle could even do anything. He knocked him out. Then he teleported behind Melorone, knocked him out like they were nothing, and was back to the West Tower in seconds. So the king teleported back to the tower and he told the 2 royal guards that he detected 2 other nin users outside the palace. Of course, we all know that those 2 other nin users are Palm and Calgo. Palm is holding Komugi. Pouf realizes that one of the other two nin users is probably holding Komugi, so he's like, oh shit, we'll have to come up with an idea to stop him so I can kill her before he gets his memory back. So Pouf comes up with this idea about a game. The game basically goes like this. Youpi and Pouf are to look for Pito while the king searches for Palm and the cowgirl. Whoever finds that target first wins. However, the game doesn't start until Pouf finishes hypnotizing the citizens. Pouf requests that the king wait inside the palace until he finishes. Pouf also requests that the king only uses N one more time. All of this is basically a bullshit excuse to slow the king down so they can find Komugi and kill her. Whoever brings that target back to the palace first wins. The king actually agrees to this stupid game, and I was actually kind of shocked. I thought he was just, at first I thought he was gonna be like, no, I'm just gonna find him and kill him. But he put one stipulation on the game. The loser must grant the winner one wish. And the king says basically, if I win this game, you have to tell me what's going on, because I know you're lying to me. I know you're hiding something from me. And Pouf and Youpi are like, oh shit, he's finding out. We're caught. They're just caught with their pants down at that point. But the king realizes that they're hiding something because if they're hiding something, it's probably a good reason why they're hiding it. So he's like, all right, well, I sense that you're loyal to me, but you're hiding something from me. So I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. You feel like you're more loyal to me than you are trying to basically deceive me. So he's like, okay, but if I win this, you're going to tell me what's going on. You're gonna tell me what you're hiding from me. Pouf and Youpi should have already knew that the king could sense what they're feeling. You know, the royal guards gave the king their power, so they're all connected. Pouf and Youpi admit that they're hiding something from the king, and they basically agree that if they lose, they'll tell the king, they'll basically just come clean and tell the king everything that's going on. Meanwhile, Palm is outside of the palace running for her dear life. She doesn't know if the king is gonna pop up any second behind her and kill her or knock her out or whatever. So she's running, trying to think of an idea or a plan where to go so she can escape his end, because she knows that if he releases his end again, he's going to detect where she is, teleport there, or whatever he did, fly there and knock her out and kill her. So she's thinking, where can I run? So she looks over and she sees that underground, that complex that connects to the underground. So she runs over there thinking that maybe if she's far enough underground, the king won't be able to detect where she is with his end. And I guess a cowgirl had the same idea, so they run into each other. So they both decide to go underground to the former ruler's room. They both head into the underground complex. They get in the truck and they're discussing the plans. So they're in the truck driving underground and they're talking, and the cowgirl thinks that basically the king just knocked out Knuckle and Melaron to make hostage deals or come up with some sort of hostage negotiation plan. So he's thinking that maybe they can set up a trap and use Komugi as some sort of leverage and come up with a trap. And that basically ends the episode. This was a pretty good episode. It had me on the edge of my seat. It had me thinking. The scene I liked the most in particular was when the king exposed that he knew that the royal guards were lying to him. I really honestly thought that he was just gonna kill him, just flat out kill him, but yeah. But this was a pretty good episode. Let me know what you guys think about it. Subscribe to my channel. I got new videos coming out every week. Let me know what you guys thought about the episode.